What's up, everybody? Greg here from resident boxing expert from Punchingbagskunk.com and Punchingbagskunk YouTube channel. What's good in the hood? Listen, this video is just a short video. Because I'm just sick of seeing all this misinformation. I guess that's what they can call it. These so-called boxing experts making all these YouTube channels and videos about how to box and how to just a bunch of nonsense, man. Actually, just people talking all kinds of ridiculous stuff, man. Throw the jab sideways up and transfer the weight from this foot to that, and then shut up. Just. So I'm gonna. I don't need to be in a gym either. I know these guys. They sell the video by renting out this really pretty gym with these nice brand new bags. But tell you right there, ain't nobody hit the damn bag. That's why it's so pretty looking. You know what I mean? So, they're nice gems and everything, and they put on these brand new gloves which they're trying to sell anyway. And they, look at they really want you to buy their products. Anyway, I'm not gonna ranting about all that nonsense. I'm just gonna show you, give you some pointers and help you, so you can throw a decent jab. You know what I mean? A decent jab. I mean. First thing you want to do, know and do, is you want to ball your fists up properly, and listen, you'll be surprised how many boneheads don't even know how to ball their fists up. I'm gonna show you what some of these guys do. See that? Putting the thumb, tucking your thumb in there. That's just ridiculous. It's a no-no. And you know what I mean? Don't ever do that. You hear me? Never, ever. All right? You see people doing this stuff, it just aggravates me. So don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do that. Ball your fist up. This is the proper way to ball your fist up. See that? Nice and tight. Thumb kind of bent over your second finger. That's a fist. And you want to ball your fist up. Now, if you want to do advanced techniques, if you remember. Bruce Lee's back fist. When he do that back fist, if you notice, his hand was actually open into contact. Once he had made contact, his fist clenched. It's kind of like, think of it like this, kind of like a whip, like the power is on the extension of the whip. The energy is on the extension. So that's where your pop comes from. You ever hear old school fighters say, "Pop the jab"? That's what they're talking about. You want to pop. You want to pop it. That's why, I always tell people, my trainer, back in the day, used to Archie, infield. I had two trainers: amateur trainer Archie Johnson, pro trainer Phil Addison. But they say, I don't have to hear you I don't have to look at you to see if you're on the back. All I gotta do is listen, and I hear that pop. I know you're not pushing the bag, that kind of nonsense. People that know about boxing know what I'm talking about. But see, you pop the jab. You gotta pop it, and you make sure you're not open-handed punching. You're not. So you know what? All that. I like one of my favorite sayings is you want to be a board. You don't want to be a spring. See, spring, board. See, that's a board. This is spring. See, if you're punching and at the extension of your punch, your arm is bent like that. That's a spring. You want a board. You want like a nice Larry Holmes stiff jab. Pop. And you want to turn. You want to turn your fist when you throw it. Okay? When you set up for throw your jab, I'm not gonna. These days, all the kids are doing this stuff. They're for mirror with the shoulder roll, hide behind your shoulder stuff. I'm old school. Put your hands up. You know what I mean? Because you can get away with that stuff with slow guys, but when you meet a fast, hey, here's another thing. When you amateur and jump, you can get away with that stuff. But when you start meeting good fighters and world class fighters, you're gonna have to have tight. Natural talent ain't gonna do it. Example, Roy Jones. And I didn't want Roy. Don't get me wrong. So again, let me put this disclaimer in there. This is why you always gotta put disclaimers in there. And usually because you got a bunch of jackasses. They just sit around and look and wait for stuff. You said put them on Roy Jones. Listen, Roy Jones, one of my favorite fighters, great fighter. But don't know how to fight. And that's common knowledge of people that know boxing. He's just so naturally talented and gifted that he can do things his way. And that happens. When you're that gifted, you don't have to obey the rules. You know what I mean? Look at it this way. Even back in the day, when Ali first came around, prior to Ali, nobody was bending back from to get away from punches. They slip punches, or they block punches, or they parry with punches. But no one was pulling back away from punches. That was considered a no-no. People that know boxing, boxing historians like me, know that no one was pulling back. Ali, with his keen reflexes and just superhuman peripheral vision and his awareness, he just knew when the punch was coming and he could pull out of it. But everyone couldn't do that, which is why when people try to emulate Ali's style, they get their ass whooped. Because if you can't do it, you need that natural talent. Same thing with Floyd. Floyd Mayweather is this naturally talented, gifted fighter. So you can't take his style and use it and think you're gonna be a great fighter. Doing this short, the style I don't like anyway. But I'm not gonna go there. Not in this video. I'm not gonna do it. But all that stuff, I don't like the style. But anyway, it's effective. But my point is, it's effective. But he does it. So when you try to, I tell people all the time, if you want to be a great fighter, you have to come up with your own style. Now you can steal from every. Look, when I was fighting, I take a little bit here, I take a little bit there. I used to love the way everyone was there who had that kind of jerky rhythm where he always laid on whatever side he was on. He was ready to launch off the power foot. So when he's doing his jerky rhythm, he's right here. He's on that back foot. He can spring the power shot there. If he's on here, he can spring it there. So he was always on his foot where he can throw his punch with power, which is why he was a great puncher. I tell people all the time that I used to love the way Michael Spinks used to kind of lean to the left hand to minimize the effectiveness of his opponent's hook, and he can always lean back on that right and fire that Spinks jinx. So there was different aspects of fighting styles that I took. But when I took that, and Sugar Ray Leonard, I used to love the way Sugar can get up on his toes and dance and move when he moves around, and he drop and fire. Fire combination. So there was different elements that I took from each and every fighter, but then it became my style. How you make it your style is you just incorporate your own, how can I put this? How can I explain this? Oh, I got it. So a kid picks up a guitar. He wants to play the guitar. Now there's been thousands and hundreds and millions of guitar players. Great ones. B.B. King, Eddie Van Halen, I'm just Stanley Clarke. I'll tell you how old I am talking about Stanley Clarke. But anyway, but these guys that learn to play the same instrument, eventually they learn from patterning themselves after someone else. They'll practice their songs, someone else's song, but then eventually they get so good that they start incorporating their own style. Same thing with boxing. Same thing. You don't just try to fight like someone else. You just take a little here, take a little there, and you start developing your own style. You know what I mean? Going back to the jab. So there's different kind of jabs. There's up jabs. There's the Floyd Mayweather made that body jab that everybody's doing that now. But jab, but I like the punch. I wish people would do it. I had a punch like that back in the day when I was fighting, but I used to use the right hand. I do a power right to the body, which basically I feint guys, feint, then I feint up here. So I throw the jab a couple times, and then I feint up here, and then when they think I'm coming up there, I'll drop down, boom, right to the body. So that was my little sneaky shot. That's why we call it chess, not checkers. but yeah, so there's different kind of jabs. So first one, you want to make sure that you're firing from here. This is where I want to fire from. This is where I want you to. If I'm training kids, this is where I'm telling you to fire from. I'm not telling you that or that nonsense, hiding behind your shoulder or that junk, because you can't do it anyway. It's Floyd's thing. You get your own thing. But anyway, some wise ass will probably say, well, this is someone else's thing too. All I got to do is tell you is just shut the hell up. Ain't doing, shut up. So just stop from here, right? And you want to throw your jab. When you throw your jab, you want to turn with it. You want to turn. You want to turn your waist. All your power really comes from your core, your waist. That's why I always tell people you turn with your punch. Turn with your punch and extend it. You want to extend your punch. You never want to be at extension like this. Never. Ever. You want all your punch to be extended. That's why when guys get on the barrier, I say, yo, he's playing. Get out of here. You don't know what you're doing. That's not effective in the ring. It's never going to happen in the ring. When you're in the ring, punching, that's why I tell people, always punch up because then when you punch down, it's easier. Don't practice punching down. Then when you fight a guy 6'5", you got to punch up here. It feels unnatural. Can't do it. Now you're already at a disadvantage. So when you throw a jab, turn it over. Right? Let me give you a little secret to boxing. This is inside secret. This by one of my boxing philosophies. My boxing philosophies is that and people say to me all the time, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. That's stupid." But I don't care. You know, one of my boxing philosophies is that I don't care about defense. A great trainer, my trainer, I just actually say your offense is the defense. Okay. So I know you got to learn to parry, block, and all that. And I'm not saying totally discount that, don't do it. I'm just saying that to me, boxing is who gets there first. So when you talk about throwing 3 or 4, 5, 6 punch combinations, you don't need it. You don't need that. You don't need none of that stuff. All you need to do, all right, to be an effective boxer, all right, just listen to me. I'm telling you right now, is to figure out your guy's strength. All right, let me put it another way. If the guy's throwing, if you get there first, so the secret is not to try to counter his attack. All right, just bear with me. The secret is not to counter his attack. Well, it is counter in a way, but it's not the counter per se the counter attack. It's to beat him to his attack. In other words, it's about speed, man. It's about speed. That's why I say jabbing is not only about. When people say, "Oh, you got an 82-inch reach advantage," the length of your arms is not an advantage. Mike Tyson was 5'2" with arms like this. He'd out-jab people with much longer arms. That should tell you right there that has nothing to do with arm length. It has about timing. Okay? It's all about timing. That's all it is, timing. So when guys are punching, you get there first. You know what I mean? So it's like when Bruce Lee used to say, do the Jeet Kune Do, and he say the name of his style was Jeet Kune Do, but the translation of it was something like a way of the intercepting fist. I totally understand that, because all fighting is intercepting, like catching an intercepted pass in football. You just intercept it. Most guys get knocked out when they go to throw a punch. Go look at knockouts. You'll see it. Most times, bang, when they're throwing a punch. So standing around posing all day, today's nonsense, posing and fencing and baloney, I'm not with that. All you have to do is wait. I used to tell guys, even if you're not as fast as the guy, he's got a guy that's fast, so this guy's beat me to the punch all the time. So you don't really necessarily got to be fast as him. You just throw what he's throwing. Okay? If you know the right, what's the word I'm looking for? Interceptor. No, that's not a good word. If you know the right combination, that's why I say you got to think in there. If you know the right combination, you can you throw when he's throwing, right when he's throwing, and you know you're going to get there. In other words, let me put this for people that are spinning right now. What are you talking about? If, hypothetically speaking, of course, and Mr. Boxing Expert, if a guy is going to throw a hook at you, or even, let's just say, even overhand right, okay? A big sloppy overhand right. Now, we all know the fastest way to get somewhere is a straight line. Are we in agreement on that? At least bonehead? Okay. Straight line. So if a guy's throwing an overhand right, and you're throwing a straight jab, who's going to get there first? Thank you. Case closed. That's intercepting. That's what I mean when I say intercepting. So you don't have to, just be, now listen, if he's throwing a jab and you're throwing a jab and he's faster than you, he's going to get there first. So you dig what I'm saying? You have to have enough knowledge and chess playing ability to understand when you face this guy, he does that. When you do that, he does that. Now you're playing chess with the guy. Now, when you do that, he throws overhand right. Now, you're waiting for the overhand right. Why are you waiting for the overhand right? Because you can throw anything straight and you're going to get there first. You understand? That's why I used to tell people all the time. Just throw at the same time. When you get there first, you got him. I bet you it takes balls to do that. These days, everybody just wants to fence it. Do that jump. Or that bull crap. That's why ain't nobody fighting these days. Ain't nobody fighting. Anyway, I'm not gonna start a rant. All right, let me get back to it. So the jab, you just want to turn it over, spin the jab, turn it over. See that? See what I'm doing? Turning it over. That's all you're doing. But when you're doing it, you're also turning your waist. So see I'm turning. You're getting the power. Bam! You're getting the power. Bam! That's how you get a nice, powerful jab. We don't want pouring. See, this is pouring. This is what Deontay Wilder likes to do, because he knows he's got that nuclear missile in his right hand, so he don't really care about the jab. He just pours it as kind of like a range finder. That's what he does. You want a range find where your chin is in the vicinity of where he's at. Oh, there it is. Boom. He drops it. So, but you don't want to do that. You want to have a nice, stiff, strong jab. Pop, pop. See, Tommy Hearns used to do that range finder too, but Tommy Hearns had an excellent jab. Nice, strong, stiff jab. But he used it for blind you. If you look at the old Tommy Hearns fights, the early ones, he'd take his fist and he put it. See how I can't see you, or you can't see me, or you know what I'm trying to say. Right there. See, that's what Tommy would do. He impair your vision. I think when that comes out of the way, as soon as that's gone, this is already there. You're knocked out, man. You're done. So, you can use the jab as an offensive weapon. You can use it as a defense. Guys put a lot of pressure on you. I tell my fighters, I developed the jab. For a lot of guys don't even let you throw it around. I don't. If I train you, you're the brand new rookie green, and you ain't never put gloves on before, you might as well forget about every punch. You might as well forget about the right. I don't care what you see on TV. I don't care what you see on UFC. I don't care what you see. I don't care who you talk to. All you're doing with me is throwing the jab. That's it. That's it for a month or two. I feel that you got it down pat. Then we'll start working on the right. The problem with today's little young boys is that they want to use all these fancy punches and they haven't mastered one. I'd rather master one punch, you know what I mean, before you go on mastering all the other stuff. Just stick the jab out there. And it's all repetition. All repetition. That's all it is. Bop, bop. You don't need to get all fancy like some of these jackasses on YouTube. With all these, some of these guys never fought, but they read up on stuff. Or you take the latitude from the elbow has to reach the centimeters degrees this way, and simultaneously, or your elbow's turning that way, your thumb got to shoot that way, and then all this nonsense. Just take the jab, stick it out there straight. Bop! That's it. Bop! And you keep practicing that, and it'll come. It'll come. It's automatic. So it ain't rocket science. It's just the key to boxing is intercepting. Remember we talked about intercepting, and also doing your style. You have to do your style. Okay? When I say do your style, what I mean is that don't alter your style. Okay? We're getting deep here. We're getting deep here, so hang with me. Hang with me. Okay? When I say don't alter your style, what I mean is that if I was in the half, this was my style. I throw a 1-2, bop, bop, and then I duck down to plant my left leg so I can come with a power hook. Okay? Now, just bear with me. If I throw my 1-2 and I go to duck down to set up my hook and I clash heads with a guy, and then I go, oh, and if you ever had a headbutt, you know it's horrible. Trust me, had plenty of them, and they're not fun. All right. So, if I throw the 1-2 and I duck down the miss to throw my hook, and I come into a clash of heads, and then I go, and you don't want to do that again, do you? But you do it again. You do it again. I'm telling you why. Because if you don't do it again, you're altering your style. See, that's why guys lose their fights, because they keep altering their style. If I throw to my good right hand, and I get caught with a counter, and then I alter my style, I ain't going to do that no more. Listen, make him adapt to you. You don't adapt to him. It's a battle of wills. You dig? It's a battle of wills. So impose your will on the opponent. Okay, I don't want to say the guy because there's a lot of women that fight today, and I don't want to insult the women because there's a lot of tough women. And a lot of women I know whoop guys' ass these days. So I don't want. So I'm saying your opponent. Impose your will on your opponent. Okay, so don't change it. I throw my right two, duck down, set my hook up, and I have a clash hands, boom. I'm gonna do it again. We have clash hands, boom. I'm gonna do it again. And I'm gonna keep doing it until you say, all right, I don't want to clash hands, and you back up. You dig what I'm saying? It's about fighting. This ain't nothing pretty or how you say diplomatic. Okay? There's nothing diplomatic about boxing. That's why it's getting soft today. It's soft because it was diplomatic. Listen, when I was fighting, when I was an amateur, I'm not a pro, when I was an amateur fighter, I was 165, okay, in my little area, Rhode Island, all right, yeah, woo woo, shout out, P-Town, right, and when in my area, if you was 165, I didn't like you. I didn't like you. I wanted to be at any gym you're at. We're not going to be tapping gloves. We're not going to be friends. We're going to get in that spot. And the sparring session wasn't a sparring session. It was a fight. If you was 165, I don't care what they say on the surface. I'd say, oh, yeah, my boy, whatever. Whatever. But when we got in the ring, I was fighting you. I wasn't sparring with you. It was a fight. It just wasn't sanctioned. Nothing like that. In other words, if you was 165, I wanted to whoop your ass. You understand? You know what's happening these days? You got kids around here. Hey, you sparring tonight? I'm sparring tonight. I'll meet you at your gym. Tap, tap, tap. Point, point, point. All that bull crap. Too nice. Too damn nice. This is why, gonna get me written today. This is why you got jackasses. What's these two medalists, pole voting jackasses, sharing a gold medal? This is why you got that kind of nonsense in sports now, because it's just too nice, diplomatic. Everybody gets a trophy. All that bullcrap. You dig? This is what I don't like. It's no spirit of competition anymore. And I don't want that stuff seeping off into the sport that I love boxing. You dig what I'm saying? Seeping off into boxing now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they're sleeping off in the box and everybody's nice. I didn't want, if you was 165 in my day when I was amateur, you better not be in no gym I'm in. You better not even jump up in my area. You better, we're sparring, we're fighting. You know what I mean? It was like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's old school. Maybe I'm a relic. Maybe I don't know. But what I do know is boxing ain't like it used to be. And you can't deny that. You got YouTube stars. I will whoop that living hell out of Jake Paul. He wouldn't even want to step in the ring back in the day. With anybody, not even a journeyman. A journeyman would kick his ass. Ain't no kissing and hugging after the fight. Get out of here, man. That's some bull crap. Let me calm down, man. Getting all excited over there, sweating and everything, man. Anyway, let's just let me just say, Punchingbagskunk.com, where you get the best sound boxing. And yeah, you guys go check out the website and yeah, practice that jab, kids. And all it is repetition. Way of the. I don't want to bite Bruce Lee stuff because that, you know, I don't want to write so that if he. But anyway, my point is, it's about intercepting. Be first. You know what it is? Be first. Be first. Be first. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about don't wait. Be first. And anytime you develop your style, you playing the guitar, and you practice anything, you know, whatever, knee deep, you practice the guitar, and you learning that song, and then once you start getting on, you know, you start putting your own little spin on it. Now it's becoming your song. Same thing with boxing. When you're boxing, I like the way this guy throws that jab, and he hooks right off that jab, pop, pop, he hooks right off that jab, I like that. But I'm going to put a spin on it. Now it's going to become mine. You dig what I'm saying? This is knowledge, man. This is knowledge. Stuff you're not getting today on YouTube with new YouTube nerds and Facebook groups that don't know a damn thing what they're talking about. We don't want to tell you, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. You ain't going to do nothing. What are you going to do? Go with my ass? That ain't going to happen. Jackasses, man, look at me, man. Anyway, man, hey, I'm a nice guy. I'm just passionate about boxing. And listen, everybody, Punchingbagskunk.com, where you get the best sound boxing, real talk. It ain't gonna be no fluff or none. Peace, y'all.